Oh, hey guys, welcome back. I'm RB, the Tractor Man. Got another day to do work. Got to mess in my shop again. Yeah. Been busy this morning. Had to go pick up some stuff from my hometown. A year ago when I moved down here, I stored some stuff at my brother's house, and so I needed to start getting that back home, make some room for their place. So went and got some stuff. Let me show you what I got. For you guys that have been with the channel for a while, you'll recognize the stuff. If you're new here, thanks for coming by. And yeah, we'll get going on stuff and show you what we got going on. Okay, so I had my towable engine stand or cherry picker stored up at my brother's place, and so it's home now. We'll get it off the trailer and just some other things. A light tower, could use that at the farm right now, so could get that fixed and get that going. And yeah, some nice pump and tires, just random stuff. And then a couple weeks ago, purchased some new bee boxes, so definitely want to get those going. So yeah, fun. All right, let me get this stuff unloaded and then we'll get going on some garden tractor stuff. So this is what this channel is about right now. This is the current project. This is a 1935 Gibson garden tractor that we're restoring. My goal today is I need to get my shop cleaned up, get my trailer and stuff all unloaded. And then it is actually pretty warm today, so I may go ahead and try to put first coat of paint on this thing. Don't know how it's going to go, but we'll give it a try. Okay, we got the truck and trailer all unloaded. Now I need to work in the shop. It's kind of one of those weird days. It's like, God, I feel almost like a pregnant woman right now. Because it's like, it's hot, then it's cold, hot, then it's cold. I can't figure out if I need my sweater on or off. So we're back in that hot mode right now. I think what I want to do is try to get something underneath the Gibson garden tractor and go ahead and try to spray a little bit of paint and just kind of see what it does. And then, of course, while it's doing that, I can clean up my mess in the shop. So kind of to tell you what happened, I had a bunch of bags of recycle, and I was going up the hill today. So I thought, I probably need to get some recycle out of the way before it gets all wet and nasty from winter and stuff. So ended up taking some recycle in, 40 bucks later. I'm happy with that. So, but what I have left is trash and burnable stuff. Yeah, we're on the farm, so we burn. Get over it. That's what we have to do. So, yeah, so I got that. Got some things I need to figure out here, get our shop space back. Yeah, we're just going to make an afternoon of it. I know this video is going to be primarily towards the Gibson tractor and just really painting it. We're getting close, guys. I had some parts come in for the motor or the engine, and yeah, I could technically start working on it tonight. We'll see how far we get. So got rims to clean up. Love to get the rims cleaned up. I don't know. We're not going to get overwhelmed here. So let me start by the little things. Behind me, bee boxes. Yes. So this past year, and actually for a couple years, I've had a very big interest in raising bees and going through all that. So I actually did some this year. Went well. Love it. It's fun. It's relaxing. Had the opportunity to buy a couple more bee boxes. Took that opportunity, so I needed to pick those up today, get them out of the way of my parents. So yeah, so we got them. I would just go ahead and set them up out with where I've got my bees, but I really want to clean them up first, give them a new paint job and stuff. And the hope is, and it's going to be kind of tough to do because we're running into winter. I don't want to disturb what the bees have going on, but I'm hoping I can set these up next to my other ones and maybe convince them they need to go into the new ones. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work, but at least these ones will be nicely done. Maybe in the future I'll do a video on bee keeping. I am by no means a professional. Nothing on this channel is going to be professional. I love that when my other YouTube guys say that. I am not a mechanic. I'm just one poor guy trying to figure it out. That's what we got to do. So anyways, yeah, enough yipper yapper. Let's do something today. Okay, so I am set up to give this a try. So this is going to be one of those times where we will get comments. We do this as comment generators. That's what we call them. Two things. First thing, my choice of color on this. So how do I be diplomatic about this? These tractors were gray and red. Okay. I can't find out exactly how the gray was supposed to be. I can get close, and I've tried
but it just doesn't look right to me. So here's what I'm going to do on this one, guys. I'm going to use light forward gray. Ah, there it is. Okay, light forward gray it is, and I got a reason behind that. It was that era that the tractors were coming out that color. I like the color. I like the glossiness of it. So that's what I think this tractor needs. That's why we're doing it. Next thing. Yes, I'd love to get out my spray gun and go over this, but we're not going to do that yet. We're going to rattle can it. If you're new, that's what we've chosen to do with this tractor. We are restoring it, but we're doing what we call a 10-foot restoration. Reason being, first off, this is not going to be museum quality. If it was, I'd be replacing every bushing and pin and everything on it because there is a lot of play. Second reason, I want this to be enjoyed. So, it's going to be set up at the Harvest Festival. We're going to allow kids to sit on it and get pictures taken, all that fun stuff. No sense putting on, $1,000 paint job on this thing. It's just going to get beat up anyways. Fundamentally, we're wanting to get it operating. And then maybe later down the road, if we choose to restore it again, then we'll do it with the correct color and everything else. But I think we're going to use, I'm thinking probably Farmall Red for the trim, the embossing of the letters and everything, and light forward gray. That's it. That's what it is. So anyway, so we're going to rattle can it. I'm going to go ahead and time lapse it for you guys. We'll move the camera in a little bit closer, and I'm just going to go over it. Nothing fancy. We're going to see how it sticks. We're using the Magic paint from Tractor Supply. I got mixed reviews on it. I've had it work really well, and then I've had it just look like crap. So not sure what this is going to turn like. Guess we'll find out together. Let's get you guys set up. Okay, one can down. Doesn't look too bad. We'll see how that sticks. So the issue I've had with this paint in the past is it'll pucker. So meaning, well, as it dries, it's like it shrinks up or something, and it'll look really bad. It looks like water got introduced to it. We'll see what happens. So we got the bulk of the mechanism all painted. Yeah, I just want to check it out, and then that works well. We'll go ahead and get the wheels or the hubs and everything and blade painted. Eventually we will tip it up in the air before we put the engine on and just give the undercoat a little paint job. So, all right, I'm going to take some time and clean the garage and come back with you guys, and we'll see how this worked. All right, so this is drying good. I thought I'd use my other can and go ahead and just kind of do the back part. And this is exactly what I was talking about. This is the issue I was having. So I think I got a couple bad cans of paint. If we look, where's a good spot? You can kind of see here how rough it is. That's not, the metal. That's the paint. It's like bubbles. It's really bad right there. Yeah. So that's what I was having issues with. Here's a good example right there. So I don't know what the deal is. We just used one can. The rest of the tractor looks good. This one looks like crap. So I went ahead and stopped. I'll probably pick up a couple more cans and we'll try it tomorrow. I'm going to try a different can. I really think it's that paint, and maybe it's an older can. Don't know why. Don't know what's up with that. So, but yeah, we're getting close on this thing. Okay, then I had told you guys in the last video that I had ordered some parts. So they've started coming in. Got our belt set. Cool. The fuel tank. So I got it off of eBay, and it's an okay tank. There's a few patches and stuff. I don't know I think our first step is going to be to fill it full of something and see how bad it leaks. But it is the right tank for that thing. So, and I think all that could be cleaned up. I can do a little bit of grinding on that, and even if we have to put a little JB weld on it, we can do that. So, but the fundamental of the tank is there. Came with a new sediment bowl, so that's kind of cool. Then the air cleaner, the oil bath cleaner. So I found one that will work. It's not the exact right one. I think it's for ATN model Wisconsin, if I remember right, something like that. But it does fit on there, right on down there. Running into the pipe, which is okay. I'm not sure I'm going to keep that pipe. I kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool. If we do, I want to fix it, reroute it just a little bit. But it's kind of really tight into there, so it's not sitting all the way down. We could tilt that back just a little bit. We can come out with a longer nipple, and that'd probably be okay too. So, don't know. I do know it'll be coming off here real soon because we will be getting into this real soon. I'm hoping maybe as soon as tomorrow, getting it off my skid and up on the table to where we can start taking some pieces off of it and get it ready to primer. So that's the goal with that. Like I said, goal with this tractor, we want to be done by the end of the year. I think it's very doable. So yeah, we just got to progress on. Okay, so you guys leave comments for me, and one of the comments was, well, I wish we had more shop time or doing more stuff in the shop, seeing you work more. Like, it's fun. And I totally understand, because each morning I get my cup of coffee, and I watch people work. Ironic, huh? I'm thinking, I don't want to go to work, but yet I'm sitting here in front of my stupid computer watching people work. Thank you, Mr. DP. Dirt Perfect. Yeah, Mike's awesome. Aaron, you're cool. Yeah, you're the boss. I love it. So, anyways, so I'm going to work. This is my light tower. It's just a quick tower that I picked up, 2-3 years ago now. Got it from Ritchie Brothers auction. Don't care too much for Ritchie Brothers. I've got a few things from them. They're kind of sneaky. I prefer 2 other auction houses, bar none, Bid Cal. That's what we have in Northern California here. They're great, awesome, great people to work with. But Ritchie Brothers, I think, is just a little too big for my taste. They do stupid things. Light tower, I think I paid like $25 for. I go to pay for it, and there's an automatic $100 fee on every item I bought. I bought like 8 items. Kind of made me mad. Don't know why. It makes no sense. I guess it's a lot space fee. Pass the lot space to the person buying the item instead of the seller who wants to sell the item. It just doesn't make sense. So my overpriced light tower, which I love. We've used it quite a bit. Previous place I was at had a teenager that liked to play basketball all night long, so I set it up for him. It was awesome. It was like we had a basketball game in our backyard, big old bright lights and stuff. So anyways, in the process of moving this last year, I busted the light frame off of the pole, so I need to just weld it back on. It's galvanized, not sure how well it's going to do. I think I got my welder set, just a cheap welder from Harbor Freight, which has done pretty good for a quick buzz box. Can't complain. But yeah, let's do a little work. Oh, see how bad we are here. Not too bad. I think we're about right. Not pretty by any means, but like I said, it is the type of material. So as long as it holds on there. So I once had welding gloves. Bought them when I bought the welder. Funny story. Had a guy at work that we needed him to do some welding. He knew how to weld really well. I know how to weld, but it's one of those things I haven't done it, and if I don't do it routinely, I kind of forget what I'm doing. So, but anyways, he needed him to do some welding, and he was refusing to weld because we didn't have welding gloves. Needed welding gloves. So boss brings home some welding gloves, but they weren't good enough for it because they were like Harbor Freight quality. So yeah, one of those type. So, you know, I guess he wanted snap-on gloves. Not that I've ever seen snap-on welding gloves, but you know. So anyways, so he still refused to weld, and we're trying to figure out what to do. So I said, well, shoot, I've got a pair. You know, they're kind of ripped, but they do work well. I put some tape over them. Still worked well. So I brought those in, and oh, yeah. So he goes and welds with them. Little does he know, I bought my welding gloves from Harbor Freight. Happy as can be. Fortunately, I left them with the welder at work, so who knows where they're at now. Not a big deal. I got to get some more. I need to go spend some money at Harbor Freight. Lots of money, because I need lots of tools. Definitely warmer. So that's the thing with these welders, especially this one from Harbor Freight. The adjustment. You got to figure out the adjustment on them. So it does have a diagram. It didn't get too close, but the different spools definitely affect that. So I don't really go by the diagram. Man, I wish I had welding gloves. All you could do is laugh about it. Well, it looks like Frankenstein, but it'll work. Oh, busy. Okay, so I think that's okay. So I don't know if I've shared with you guys on my channel. This is turning more into a shop video than a Gibson garden tractor video, but we will get back in there. We're just kind of filling time while the paint's drying. In the midst of doing a bunch of tests for the farm, mechanic, you know, and then just kind of operations and keeping the farm rolling, number 2 guy in the operation. I also have a U-Haul dealership, so I do that. Got my own stuff going on. You know, family lives about an hour away, so gotta go see mom every now and then, otherwise she thinks I don't love her. Ha ha ha. Anyways, yeah, so I'm a pretty busy guy, but I'm still gonna take time to do my stuff, darn it. So anyways, yeah. I'm gonna let this cool off, clean it up a little bit. Might have to put a little more weld on it, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, moment of truth. Should we see if this thing's gonna work? Mind you, it's been sitting outside for a year. Boy, I'd love to just have fun with you guys right now and just act like I'm getting shocked, but chances are if I were to try to do that, guess what? I would be in that process, and who knows? Not cool. She's gonna work. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Takes a little bit to power up. Looking good. Yeah, not crazy about the bulb. Eventually it would be really cool is put a couple LED lights on this one. That way you can kind of turn them. And I may do that. We got some LED lights floating around the farm. Be cool. This will work for what we got going on right now. We just have a warehouse that's really dark inside. We're trying to process some stuff in it and everything. So that'll give the crew a little bit of light, because it is really bright once it gets going. Yeah. So cool. That's fixed. Okay. Man, I think I'm going to get back to rims. I think I might put a wire brush on and try to clean up some rims tonight. Let's do it. We got a little bit of light left. Okay, guys. So I got rim 1 in pretty good shape. This was the easier one. Yeah, so I just pulled out the wire wheel and started going to town on it and cleaned up really nice. It could use a good acetone bath now. I'm happy with it. So I'm going to do the other one. Try to film you guys. It is getting dark outside, and I've moved it outside because of all the dust and everything. So we can try. We'll try. We'll take you along. So I'm going to get set up, and see what we can do. Okay, we did what we could in the dark. It just got too dark out there. So the outside of the rims cleaned up really nice. I'm happy with them, both sides. We do have where the valve stem comes through. It is wallowed out really bad. Hello, there's my finger all the way through it. So I think what I need to do, we'll go ahead and get that welded up, and then we'll grind it down flat, and then probably move the valve stem over to there, drill a fresh hole. So the inside is really rough. We knew it was when we took the tire off this one and found there was water in the tire and everything. It's going to take a little bit of work, but it's just the rust is scaling, the metal is scaling. So we're just going to have to grind it all down, and just take a lot of grinding, but we will get it. I think it'll still clean up. I don't see any other rust pockets, just the valve stem, which is common for rims like this. So we'll just fill it full weld and grind it down, fill it full weld, grind it down, get it built up, use a little JB weld around there. And then that is the trick around these, even because you will never get it perfect again. You're just looking to get it down so that nothing catches the tube and pops it. So what we'll do is we'll get it smooth, and then in the imperfection areas, we'll put a little JB weld in there and kind of feather it in, and that'll be good as new. So that's all we can do with that tonight. Just got too dark too quick. I think I'd like to go back over to the bench and find some kind of fluid to put in the fuel tank. I'm thinking, what would be cheapest? We got some paint thinner, maybe just water. That's probably the cheapest. But yeah, I'd like to put some fluid in that tank and see if it leaks anywhere. That way we know what we're going to have to do repair-wise to it. So let's get set up and let's do that. Also going to throw a grubby sweatshirt on because it's across that bridge to when it is cold. See, that's what we're dealing with right now. It's like hot, cold, hot, cold. Pregnant. Winter's pregnant, I guess. Yeah, there. Anyways, yeah, so enough for the rims for tonight. Put that on the table so a rat doesn't knock it over and scare the death out of me in the middle of the night, and I can sleep. And why don't we just set up that fuel tank right here? Seems like that works out pretty good. Maybe we can grab this tub just as an overflow. Yeah, and golly. Yeah, here's that fuel tank we got. Like I said, it looks really good. The noise inside is the chain rattling around. You know, it looks fairly clean. I just really think we should test it before we paint it up, put it on the tractor, all that fun stuff. So let me get the gas bowl put on there so we can shut it off. Figure out how we can brace it up there, and let's put liquid in it. I think that's where we're at. Okay, so I think I found something that'll work just fine. So, past couple months, we've been having some issues with our diesel tractors at work or at the farm. Just doing random stuff. Some of them not running very well, and we're kind of scratching our heads going, what's up? You know, everything can't be dying all at once, you know, in the ideal world. And what we found is there was some bacteria actually growing in one of our main fuel tanks at the farm. So, and we've had issues with it before. It really needs to be cleaned out really good, and now it really needs to be cleaned out really good. So I've had to go through on a couple of our newer Kubota tractors, and drain the tank completely, and a couple filters, and clean all the little screens and everything just to get them to run halfway decent and get us through harvest. So in the process of that, I now have cans of diesel fuel laying around that we really don't want to run in equipment. I actually cleaned out the parts washer and put some new diesel in the parts washer, but I still have remnants of cans of fuel that we need to do that kind of things with, use it to burn, whatever, but try not to use it in equipment. And so I have a can here that I brought to my place. So, as I was saying before my battery went dead, we got all this surplus of excess diesel that may or may not be good. There's probably little particles in it. I could probably use a 10 micron filter it out, and it'd be okay. Regardless, I have some here. We're going to use that to put in here. Be the cheapest thing right now. I was going to run some gasoline in there, but I have done a really good job getting rid of all the gas around here. So, yeah. So let's put some of this in there and see how big of a mess we make. Ready. You think we're high enough, guys? Was that probably about a gallon? We're almost there. We're up to about here. Gosh, I think I'm going to be happy with that. We're not going to put any more in. We're across the level, and realistically, I don't think I'll ever run it that high anyways. So, yeah, let's let it do its thing. I made a mess all over my floor. Now I feel like I'm a pro. But as long as we don't see no diesel appear in here, should be okay. It's all looking good. So I think what the process is we'll let this sit overnight and see what develops, if anything develops. And then what I want to do tomorrow is sand down all the rough spots, and then we'll test the tank again, see what it does. If it still doesn't leak, then we know it's good, and we're ready to start processing it along with the engine parts. So yeah, we got progress. So as I said, this tank came with a strap. However, when I received it, there was no strap. So I reached out to the person I bought it from, and they mistakenly forgot to put it in the box. So they are honoring their words and shipping it separate, and I'm very appreciative for that. I know it costs money. Thank you. So don't know what else to say. It happens. You know, I've done that before too. Get everything all packaged up, and oh shoot, forgot a cable. You know, it just wonderful world of eBay. Yeah, it's fun. So anyway, so got that coming. The other strap should be here. I got to check the mail and figure out where it's at. And then I've also got to check the mail and figure out where our new serial tag is at, because both those items should be here. So if not, really close. So anyways, I think that's where we're at for tonight. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut down shop, and we'll continue on tomorrow. Alright, it is the next day, guys. Been getting a few chores done this morning. So yeah, time to start working on this thing. So I wire brushed the inside, and it's still pretty rough. I think we'll be okay. I'm going to have to do some more grinding on it, I think. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and patch this hole where the valve stem comes through, because it is definitely all boogered out. So I'm just going to tack some weld in there and then grind it down, and probably tack weld, grind it down. I have to do it a couple times. And we will be moving the valve stem to across the rim. But regardless, that needs to be filled in. And like I mentioned, we'll use some JB Weld to clean up the rim in places. So yeah, I'm going to film this. Just wanted to update you guys. I'll get it plugged and then jump back in. Okay, I was going to show you guys this. So I attempted to weld, and there's just not enough meat there. I'm just chasing the weld, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do what I wanted to do there, which is fine. We'll make it work. I did get a hole for the valve stem knocked in on this side, so we're good there. I'm going to go ahead and find some JB weld, and we'll go ahead and get that JB welded up. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but that's what we got to do on these things. All right, I went and got some JB weld, and so now we get to play the waiting game. I just pucked it in there, let it dry, we'll sand her down, probably have to add another batch, but this will be it. So that's what we're going to do for this one. This had a little scar too, so I threw a little bit in there, but we're good on that one. I think what we're going to do now is we put some fluid in the fuel tank last night. We've checked it. There's no leaks, so that's good. So I want to kind of clean that one up now. I want to grind down some of the rough spot on it, and then we'll test it again, see what it does. See if there's still no leaks, then we'll know it's ready to go ahead and get cleaned up and primered. So yeah, that's next. Welcome back, everybody. It's been like a week later. It's been really cold out. Couldn't get motivated this weekend to get out here in the garage. I got motivated a little bit. Needed a heater. So I bought a heater. Then I couldn't get motivated to put it together. Finally got it put back together. And then I thought I was going to run diesel on it. Decided no, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and keep it kerosene. So I did that. I had to get kerosene tonight. So I put it in there, make sure it works. Voila, got heat. It's doing a great job. Gibson garden tractor. I'd like to jump back in. So I'm here in my jammies. Yep, just relaxing this evening. Not quite ready to go to bed. Thought I'd try out the heater, work on the tractor. What could I say? I should just move my bed out here. I'd be perfectly happy. Yeah, so got the rims out here again. So what we did, I think where we ended the last video is we used some JB Weld, and I used the paste rather than mixing the two together. And we patched up the old valve stem hole. So I just sanded it down, and it feels pretty doggone good. Sanded down the new valve stem hole that we drilled in, and so it's ready to go. I think where I'm at is I'm ready to go ahead and clean these rims up with a little acetone and see if we can primer them. I'd like to get them primered tonight. Idea behind that is that it's Wednesday night. If I get them primered tonight, maybe a second coat tomorrow, get them painted, do rubber this weekend. I'd love to get this thing back on rubber this weekend. That'd be a great job. Yeah. First week in December, we're still on our timeline. Did get parts in for the engine. I want to shift gears to the engine, but I think I would like to have this a rolling chassis first before we do that. Yeah, so I think that's where we're at. So I'm not going to bore you guys. I'm just going to use a little acetone, wipe these things down, and paint like I've done so many times before. And yeah, we'll get these things primered. Okay, I set out to do what I did. Yeah, something like that. Rims are painted, primered. Came out pretty good. Got a good coat on them. I'm just going to let them dry. I went ahead and hit the fuel tank one more time. That's where, definitely want a good solid coat of primer there. So when we paint that, because fuel will eat up the paint real quick. So good to have that nice and coated. So heater did great. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Let these dry. Done for the night. Was fun. Anytime you get to work in the shop in your Crocs and jammies, great time. Got to break the ice somewhere. So yeah, we'll let this dry and we will continue on maybe tomorrow. Okay guys, next night, just keep adding on. We're going to get somewhere. So we're all set up. Got the heater down here. It's working great. Got my holiday spirit there, apple cider. Yeah. Yeah. So got some Christmas music going on. I think I'm ready to do some painting of rims. They're looking really good. I'm going to try anyways. See if I can get paint to stick. And I think so. I'm kind of set up for that. I may get a little bit more lighting going on here. I got my headlight. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, all good. Okay. Checklist. I'd like to get the front end off the ground. I'm just going to get some jack stands underneath it, get off the ground. That way I can paint the hubs as well. Because, like I said, if I can get the wheels painted tonight, I should be able to put it together this weekend. Yeah, I'd love to get this thing rolling. So, all right, I'm going to get going. All right, guys, let's get you all caught up. So I've been playing with some paint. 3 spray cans later, guess what? So we got the rims all painted. They came out great. They look really good. I'm real happy with them. I went ahead and continued working on this, getting it painted, paint what I can. So, and it's looking really good too. So I got mainly right around the axles. That way we can put the tires on. That'll get it lifted up off the ground enough. And then I can always, put cloths and stuff over the tires and get some undercoat spraying done on it. Got the front blade painted. Came out good. Fuel tank, yep, we got it. So I learned something today. The early models, which this one is, had both styles. It ended up having the round tank as well as the oval tank. So I kind of thought, what do I do? I'm going to put the oval tank on just because I bought it, and I've got the decal that fits on the oval tank. The round tank did not have a Gibson decal, so yeah, so we'll get that updated. So I'm real happy with the progress we've made. I feel confident now that we'll let the paint dry, and this weekend we should be able to do tires. I'm planning on working around the house this weekend. Farm's finally slowing down. I have been doing a lot of work at the farm. Let's see, what do I do today? I worked on a gas oven, and then did service on the Bomag roller. So yeah, little things. Got the John Deere 310 backhoe tomorrow. That's mine. I got to get that thing going. So anyways, yeah, happy with the progress. Shop heater did excellent. I've stripped clothes off. So yeah, it's nice and warm in here. I'm very happy with that. I do have, so I have a big propane heater, but the issue I have is, first off, it's really big, and it'd probably heat this place up in 5 minutes time, be done with it. But then, gradually cooling down, and it's so noisy. And I would have to run electrical out here. I'm still trying to figure out the electrical situation. I think I have a plan that'll be happening here real soon, probably tomorrow, next day. So I ended up purchasing this unit, and my thought was I'd run diesel in it. Well, when I got it put together and started looking at it, it really highly recommended kerosene, so don't dither away because it can burn out the wick and everything. So I bit the bullet, went ahead and got some kerosene. It was crazy. 5 gallons was like $60, but I think it's going to work fine. It's just one of those things. I needed a solution. It's not the cheapest solution, but in the long run, I think it'll work. Yeah, I do have diesel heaters too. I could have brought a diesel heater over, but again, the noise factor and then having to have electricity. This thing's going to be fairly portable, which I'm liking, especially if I'm having to do some field work or something. I can probably drag it along. So anyways, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I think I'm going to tie down the shop for the evening, go in and get a bite to eat. And like I said, tomorrow, which will be Friday, we should be in really good shape. I'm going to come out, check the parts, see where we're at, and then probably go ahead and get rubber stretched out, maybe put a little air in the tubes and kind of get them stretched out. Yeah, I'm anxious. I'd love to get the tires mounted. That'll be so awesome. So what's next? Well, we got the engine to work on. So I can start disassembling the engine. See if I can get a good picture for you guys. We'll do a separate video on that because this isn't going to be an engine rebuild. This is going to be more get the skins off and clean up what we can, paint it. We've already got the engine running. So biggest thing we're going to do to it is gas tank, figure out the exhaust, and then the new air cleaner. So that's it. I do have the cultivator for the back of this. It's hiding over here. We haven't done nothing with it yet. So we may pull that out this evening or this weekend, and hit it with a wire brush. Again, it's kind of like the blade, not a whole lot to it. We'll go ahead and get it wire brush, primered, painted. Love to get it on the tractor after we get the wheels on the tractor. Yeah, and then the only thing that this thing needs is, I'm not sure what they're called, but the Harrow wear plates. And I haven't really been able to find them. So I'm not sure what we're going to do. There's a couple there and a few missing. So I may just go ahead and try to paint like red where they go, and then try to see if I can figure out where to get some. They got to be out there somewhere. So other than that, it's coming down to the pipe here. Yeah, a few more parts to do. We got the cover for the chain guard. Not sure what we're going to do. I thought I was going to make a new one. I may just go ahead and cut that wear hole out bigger and put it on there. Just kind of clean it up. I don't see any reason to cover it. It just keeps your feet from sliding into the chain is all that is. I think it's in good enough shape. The plate, this is the foot pad plate. And what we're going to do with that, right here, I got some diamond steel. And so we'll get a new one. That shouldn't be too bad. Looks like maybe one bend in the middle, and then we can cut out. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're going with this. Yeah, we'll continue on tomorrow, and we're making great progress. And like that, we are back. It's the next night. Good day at work. Friday's here. Woohoo! So yeah, feeling ambitious tonight. I think I'll get going on this thing. I like how the paint turned out. We did good on that last night, so it's looking really good. Feels really good. I think what I'd like to do is start with the front wheels. I'd like to get the tires put in place, and I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go. What I'll do is I'm going to do one side and kind of get a gist for what I'm doing, and then I will jump in and show you guys the other side. I think that's going to be the best thing, because it's going to take a little bit of trying to figure it out, and I'm hoping that I can get the rubber to expand enough. Should be able to. It's what it's supposed to be on there. So yeah, all right, I'm going to go jump in and do it, and we'll come back with you guys in just a sec. All right, one side is on. Actually, it wasn't too bad. I'll go ahead and film the other side for you guys. All right, put that on, show you what I did. Yeah. All right. We got our tire here. Kind of stretch it out just a little bit, just kind of make sure there's nothing down the side of it. And what I'm going to do is use foot powder. Usually you use powder. I just happen to have foot powder, so foot powder is what we're going to use. Put a little powder in there. And this just helps it get a little lubricated in there. All right. Let's grab our tube. I actually like how easy these ones were. Yeah, so I'm just going to shove the tube down the side here. Cool, now that I have that done, I can go over to the tractor and we'll put it in. Let me go ahead and get you guys set up. All right. So, what I did on the other one is I got the valve stem hole right up top there. I'm simply going to take this, feed the stem through, okay, and go around and make sure the tube is up inside the tire. So the cool thing about this one that I really like is the hub. So it's all the way on the hub on the tractor, right? So now we're going to put the hub cap on, and then it'll suck back out. So before I did that on the other side, what I did was, bring them over, and of course it's on. Try to set these things up. I'm going to go ahead and hook my battery air gun up to the valve stem. That way it doesn't fall in. Okay, so now that that's there, that's going to kind of hold it from sucking in. And what I found is, let's see here. So the Gibson's up. So the next step, go ahead and move the valve stem to the bottom. Okay. Grab our bolt. We're going to hang the cap. Okay. On this one, what I did on the other side was I just held it in place. Just get a nut on there so it can't come off. Okay. And then we'll just go around, get the other two in. Go ahead and tighten those up. So got the front tires all on. Look good. Here's what I think the next step for tonight is. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the stuff off the floor and stuff. And I'd like to jack the back end up. We need to get it up higher so that we can put back tires on. And then we're going to attempt. I may try with one again to get one mounted and see how it goes. And then if that goes good, then I'll bring you guys in and we'll get the other one done. I'll be sure not to do rubber tonight. We still got plenty of time. It's just, I'm not trying to rush things. So yeah, I'm going to get things cleaned up and we'll get the rear end jacked up. All right, guys. So, hour and a half later, got a tire mounted. Mounting tires is not my strong ability. Man, I fight them every time. Even at work. I mean, we got a tire machine, regular auto tires, no problems. But anytime you deal with tractor tires, I don't know. I just tend to fight them, and especially when you're dealing with tubes, just adds that added layer. So I got it on there. Lots of cuss words. I'm not proud of myself. I'll pray about it tonight. Yeah, no fun. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. I'm not going to record it. I'm going to save you guys the aggravation. So once I get it mounted, we'll come back and we'll get these tires onto the hubs. Sound like a plan? Yeah. Yeah, that was no fun. I just don't understand it. You know, part of the issue is that it's cold, so the rubber wasn't wanting to work with me very well. But, yeah, I thought I had it, and I started blowing it up, and the tube was in backwards, so the stem started sucking inside. And so, of course, my tool falls off the end, and now I have a half-inflated tube inside. I had just enough room to break the bead again and get in there and remove the stem. Loads of fun. So yeah, let me get the other one. I'm going to get a refresher on my beverage here, and we'll go at it. All right, so second wheel wasn't so bad. Didn't fight it as much. Still a pain in the butt though. All right, let's put some tires on. There's some wheels on here. Start this side. Coming together nicely. Because it's just being a booger. That must be the one that we rebuilt. These look like they're in just a little bit too far. Hopefully it don't matter. Nice. All right, looks good. I scratched up the rim a little bit on this side. The other side's got one or two little scratches, but we'll get them touched up. Not too happy with the tubes. It's kind of weird how they went in. I thought it was just the first one that I didn't get it right, but the second one did the same thing as well. So it's almost like the valve stems for these tires are set up to have like straight, stem holes versus out the side of the rim. So not a big deal. I think it'll be okay. You know, if we have to switch tubes out later, we switch out tubes later. Okay. That one's in. Shall we do the other side? We'll tighten them down once we get it on fours. Let's get you guys moved around. All right. All right, let's stab ya. Here we go. Man, it feels so good to have 4 tires on this thing again. Finally feels like progress. It's gonna be a nice little tractor. All right, awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and get the jacks out of there. Let's put all 4 on the ground. Woohoo! And the moment we've been waiting for, finally, she's on all 4. Look at this. Let's check this out. Looks pretty doggone good. I'm happy with it. So, awesome. Good height in the back. Yeah. A lot of hard work. So what's next? So yeah, this is Friday night. I think I'll go ahead and end the video here. It's been a long video, several things going on, but boy, have we made some progress in this video. So yeah, so this part's done. We got the wheels on. Awesome. Leading into the weekend, that's what I wanted to accomplish this weekend. So that frees us up. What I'm going to do is I'll clean the shop in the morning, get us some room, and then we're down to the engine and the spring harrow for the back. I may go ahead and knock out the spring harrow first, just because it's going to be quick. Just basically get it up on the table and wire brush it and get it primered and painted, and then we can get it put on there. And then I'll probably go ahead and get the engine up on my stand, and we'll get the basics, or the carburetor and mag and stuff taken off of it, get it down to where we can clean that up. So it looks like I'm going to be cleaning up some parts tomorrow. All right, well, I look forward to it. Hope you enjoy this kind of content. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, all the typical YouTube stuff. We're making progress. The goal is by the end of the month, we're December 5th right now, this thing will be done and out of our way. We'll get the shop cleaned up. This is next. Yeah, this is going to be a full restore. I'm already looking at it, kind of getting an assessment of parts. We may pull the 43B up. It's still down at the pumpkin patch, kind of shoved in the corner because it's really rough, but I think there's a couple parts on it that I might need for this. All right, appreciate it. Thank you.